Hello. Caller number 1, can you please identify?
This is Joanne. I don't know if I'm caller number 1 or not, but this is Joanne.
Yep, I thought it might be you, Joe. Okay, let's see. We've got 1, 2, 3. 1. Okay, I see Larry's on there. Okay. Welcome everybody to a regular meeting of Monday, January 25th. Lou, could we please have roll call?
Good evening, everyone. Mayor Bain, I'll start with you.
Here.
Councillor Gorell.
Here.
Councillor Lundstrom.
I am here.
Councillor Scalise.
I am present.
Councillor Sherman. And Dana, I don't know if others had trouble hearing you, but I saw you.
Did you not hear me? I'm here.
Okay, there we go.
Is that better? Okay.
Thank you. Councillor Spradlin.
Here.
Councillor Stroud.
I'm here.
Okay, looks like we have a quorum. We'll go ahead and get started. Everybody's had a chance to look at the minutes for the regular meeting of January 11th. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes? Okay, hearing none, I'd entertain a motion to approve the minutes as submitted.
So moved.
Okay, Kevin, motion to approve. Do you have a second?
Second.
Dan, seconds. Okay, any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Councillor Sherman.
Yes.
Councillor Lundstrom.
Yes.
Councillor Gorell.
Yes.
Councillor Spradlin.
Yes.
Councillor Stroud.
Yes.
Councillor Scalise.
Yes.
And Mayor Bain.
Yes. Okay, also we have minutes this time for a special meeting on January 18th where we had the training at the golf course. Are there any additions or corrections to those minutes? Hearing none, I'd look for a motion to approve the minutes as submitted.
I move we approve the special meeting of January 18th.
Okay, Councillor Scalise has made a motion to approve the minutes as submitted. Do I have a second?
A second.
A second.
Larry.
Okay, look, Councillor Lundstrom by a nose. Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Councillor Spradlin.
Yes.
Councillor Stroud.
Yes.
Councillor Gorell.
Yes.
Councillor Sherman.
Yes.
Councillor Scalise.
Yes.
Councillor Lundstrom.
Yes.
And Mayor Bain.
Yes. Okay, I don't see anyone else on the call, but I'll ask, is there anyone on the call that would like to publicly comment tonight? Looks like we have no one on the call. Okay, we'll move into number 4, management. STAR team intergovernmental agreement. Chief Boss has that.
Good evening, Council. As you know, we've been struggling to staff a SWAT team for the last year, and discussing with Fort Morgan Police Department and Morgan County, we decided that we needed to find more resources. So we reached out to Sterling PD and Logan County, And collectively, the 5 agencies want to form a regional SWAT team. So this IGA has been through all 5 entities, all 5 attorneys, and it's in great shape. I helped write it, and I'm very pleased with the outcome here. So we're just looking for you to approve it so that we can move forward and begin forming that regional SWAT team. I think it's absolutely necessary and will be a great resource, not only for Brush, but for the entire region. If there's any questions, I'm happy to try to answer those.
Chief, one question I had. Now, this is not to be confused at all with the drug task force that we had a grant for. Is that correct?
That is correct. This is tactical operations only. There's no investigative element to this. Both Sterling and Morgan County in the past have had their own SWAT teams, and both teams have provided services to the entire Northeast Colorado. So we're essentially combining resources to have enough personnel and enough equipment, but in actuality, not a lot will change other than we're all working together better.
Okay, and does Logan County have an MRAP? I'm sure that would be a valuable asset to that team. Do they also have equipment like that or not?
Sterling Police Department has one, and we have one. And then Yuma County, which is not part of the agreement, but they also have an MRAP that we are able to use if we need to.
Okay. All right. Anyone else have questions?
You kind of beat me to one, Mayor Bain. My question was about the AMRAP as well. My other question is, in partnering with other counties as far as a tactical response team, what kind of response time? How does that work? I'd be curious to know.
In effect, it actually expedites the response. So if something were to happen here in Morgan, currently we don't have a SWAT team, so we would have nobody to respond to that event other than just our regular patrol officers. But by having a multi-jurisdictional SWAT element, we would have an element here that could respond immediately, and then more resources coming in as the situation develops. So I think it would actually expedite the response we've had over the past year.
And would this assist with those pre-planned executing of search warrants or arrest warrants? And would it better improve officer safety?
Do you mind saying that again? You broke out at the very beginning. I missed it.
Would this be able to help you guys plan better for those higher risk search warrants or arrest warrants, thereby improving officer safety since there hasn't been a SWAT team?
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay, any other questions for the chief? Okay, with that, I would entertain a motion on the intergovernmental agreement.
I move to accept the intergovernmental agreement for the STAR team.
Okay, we have a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Scalise. Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Counselor Lundstrom,
Yes.
Counselor Stroud,
Yes.
Counselor Spradlin,
Yes.
Counselor Sherman,
Yes.
Counselor Scalise,
Yes.
Counselor Gorell,
Yes.
Mayor Bain.
Yes. Okay, the motion is approved. Moving on to 4B, continuity of operations plan, also Chief Boss.
So this is the COOP plan that we introduced a couple months ago on the at the work session. Been a few administrative tweaks to it, but we're just looking for approval, I guess, of the plan. Perhaps the city administrator can give you better direction on that, but I would say this is by far the most comprehensive and complete COOP plan in the region. Matt did a great job putting it together. So.
Okay, does council have any questions? Okay, with that, I seek a motion on this item.
I move we approve the COOP plan as presented.
Okay,
Second.
okay. Councilor Stroud with a motion to approve, Councilor Gurrell with a second. Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Counselor Sherman,
Yes.
Counselor Scalise,
Yes.
Counselor Spradlin,
Yes.
Counselor Lundstrom,
Yes.
Counselor Stroud,
Yes.
Counselor Gurrell,
Yes.
Mayor Bain.
Yes. Okay, moving on to 4C board appointments. I do have one board appointment I'm asking council approval for tonight, and that is a vacancy that we have on the tree board. Steve Wilson has stepped forward to volunteer for that board. Also, one thing I wanted to mention too, we do have an opening on the museum board, and we normally have a council liaison on that board. So if any of our existing council is interested in serving on that board, please let me know. Kevin, are you interested? I see your hand raised. Okay.
Yes, sir. That is my background.
Oh, very good. Okay, and they meet, typically they meet once a month, and they normally have a program that they do once a month also, either at the museum or at the library, depending on whether it's winter or summer. But with that, if you're stepping forward now, I would also ask for council approval for Kevin to be placed as an appointment to the museum board. I'm still looking to fill a vacancy for planning and zoning. I don't have anyone to offer tonight for that, so I'm still looking. Hopefully at the next meeting, we'll get somebody on board for that. With that, I would look for a motion to approve the two appointments I just spoke about.
Can I just ask a quick question, Mayor Bain? I would be interested in more information about the Planning and Zoning Board.
Okay, I believe that position right now, we've got, I serve on that board. The mayor has one seat on the board. Dan Scalise is on planning and zoning, and Dana Sherman is. And I believe that's the maximum limit that we can have of council for that commission. The rest of the appointments are citizen appointments. So, okay.
Yeah, is it all? That is part of my background, so that's why I'd be interested. But you know, if there's of anything on the library board, I'll be all for that too.
Okay. Okay. And also that the appointment to planning and zoning, I talked to Lorenda about this. This will be to fill the vacancy created when Steve Treadway passed away. And normally that's a 6-year appointment to the planning and zoning. But we feel like for this appointment that we do have, hopefully at the next meeting, it'll be to serve out the remainder of that term, which will be until January of 2023. So hopefully I will be coming back with someone for council to consider at that time. Okay, with that, let's move on to number 5, finance.
We need to move and vote on that, don't we?
Oh, I'm sorry. Absolutely, absolutely. Do I have a motion to approve?
Wilson for the tree board, Kevin Stroud for the museum board.
Okay, very good. Councilor Gurrell makes a motion to approve both appointments. Do I have a second?
Second.
Dan Scalise, second. Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Counselor Lundstrom,
Yes.
Counselor Sherman,
Yes.
Counselor Spradlin,
Yes.
Counselor Stroud,
Yes.
Counselor Gurrell,
Yes.
Counselor Scalise,
Yes.
Mayor Bain.
Yes. Okay, and with that, let's move on to finance.
Okay. We have an adjustment on the bills. There was 2 700,000 CDs that they had matured, so then there was new ones. But usually they're subtracted from the total bill amount. So the actual bills that I want to approve is disbursements for payroll from disbursements and payroll from January 12th, 2021 to January 25th, 2021 in the amount of $357,616.40.
Okay, we have a motion to approve. Do we have a second?
Second, Justin.
Okay, Counselor Spradlin seconds. Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Counselor Gorell,
Yes.
Counselor Stroud,
Yes.
Counselor Scalisi,
Yes.
Counselor Lundstrom,
Yes.
Counselor Sherman,
Yes.
Counselor Spradlin,
Yes.
Mayor Bain.
Yes. Okay, the motion is approved. Okay, moving on to staff reports. First up, I have Rick Krogley, Assistant City Administrator.
Good evening, Council.
Hello.
I don't have any really updates since our last council meeting, since I gave that long update. So I think you're pretty caught up on all my things.
Okay, thank you, Rick. Derek Boss, Chief of Police.
Just real quick, last week we extended 2 job offers out, one for our evidence custodian and one for a police officer position. Both were accepted, so we will be fully staffed probably in the next 2 to 3 weeks after background checks are finished and whatnot. That's all I have.
All right, thank you, Chief. Let's see. Do we have the fire chief on the call? Ted Anderson? How about Dale Colrick, Director of Public Works? Joanne Goslink, Finance Director. I know you're on here.
I am on here. So just real briefly, wanted to let council know that we're going to be opening City Hall back up February 1st. So next week we'll be open back up. Our doors will be unlocked and open to the public. The other item was that the new budget went into effect January 1st. And then, and hopefully in February, I'll have some financials showing you how we ended with our 2020 year prior to audit, of course, at one of the 2 council meetings, probably more than likely the second council meeting. And that's all I have.
Okay, thank you, Joe. Next up, we have Miranda Packard, City Clerk.
Just real quick, I wanted to mention that CML is holding their legislative update, which will be on Thursday, February 11th from 9 to 1:30. It's going to be held virtually. And the legislative update provides an opportunity to discuss CML's legislative program, key municipal issues before the General Assembly, and what can be done to influence the legislative process. If you are interested in registering, I'd be happy to help you out with that. Just please let me know. And that's all I have.
All right, thank you, Lou. Next up, Dan Krob, City Attorney.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Nothing really to report, but here to answer questions if anything is out there.
I have
Okay.
a question for you. Can you just give me an update on where we're at on the fees in lieu of the land? We discussed the fee in lieu thing for a while, and I just was wondering if we had an update on where we're at. I know you were getting some information back from the school or something. I don't know.
Yeah, sure. As far as I know, and I don't want to put words in the mouth of the developer or the school or anything, but they have come to an agreement, and I guess really before I say too much, I should probably confirm, but how about I confirm this and send out an email to council?
Okay, yeah.
That would be great. Because even if there's something there, I kind of was wanting to have something for the future when this, I mean, because we wanted something that had nothing to do with this development, just moving forward.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so you're
Yep.
not talking about this specific instance with the development, you mean in overall?
Overall, yeah, not necessarily because we were going to keep it separate from that development.
Okay. I haven't I've kind of been working on some other stuff that some of it's ready to go, some of it isn't, and that's kind of taken a back seat, but I'd be happy to get that ready to go at the next council meeting if council would like that.
I don't know when or an update or something. I just don't want it to get forgotten. I mean, I feel like we talked about it for so long and then it just kind of got stuck on the back burner, and I just want to kind of not let it get lost.
Yeah, absolutely. I will make sure that that's addressed in our code, and you guys get a chance to look at it by the next meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions for the attorney? Okay, moving on to Monty Therese, City Administrator.
Hey guys, I lost my connection there, so I had to call back in on the landline. First of all, I guess thanks for everyone attending that last training we had. It was a great training. I hope everyone took away some good things from that. And then also, just to follow up, we were talking through a lot of different city projects. If there's ever any of those that you want more details about, just send me an email and we'll put it on as a work session item so that we can give you more of the background of different projects. Other thing was going through my list here, the fire department training center. I meet with the fire department tomorrow afternoon, and we're going to go over the first draft of the site layout, and then I'll give them a copy of that, and then they can let me know if that's kind of the direction that they're thinking of, because a lot of what we said, we're out on site and now we've got it down on paper, from our engineers. So that's moving along there. And next thing I was going to mention was we did send out a letter to the school district in regards to the traffic study, as was discussed by council. That's in your packet, a copy of that letter. And then the last thing I had, well, I guess a couple of items. We're about 2 months away from having that little rental house remodeled on the old Cooney Bostrom farm. It's moving along pretty well. And then last thing I was going to mention was the new sushi restaurant downtown, Victor Sushi. It's been kind of a happening place. It's been very busy during lunch times and in the evenings. So it's really good to see that activity in downtown Brush again. That's all I have.
Any council have any questions for Monty? Okay, moving on to number 7, mayor and council reports. Does anyone have anything to report tonight?
I have potentially a couple things. I want to make sure that everyone's on the same page, just for the sake of clarifying with people. So can we officially say what our role is in the middle school deconstruction, which is nothing, correct?
I believe, that is completely the school district's project. Monty, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, it's the school district's project. They're responsible for the site as a whole. There's been a little bit of chatter about what's going to happen with that property after the school's gone. But that's all just very preliminary discussions of, is there any type of partnerships with the school district that we can have on the actual property. Only other thing that I'm tracking is we're allowing the contractor to take the broken concrete. They're going to put it through a crusher that gets it into a little smaller size, and taking it out to the Brush Agri Park area. And we might use that as a stockpile of materials to help out with the fire department project on some of the roadways coming in. So that's about as much as I know about what's going on there and any participation from the school district or from the city, sorry.
Cool. That's, yeah, I just wanted to make sure that everyone was on the same page with that one. Because, you know, misinformation, I've been asked a couple times about that myself, so I can imagine everyone else. Towards that end, I was thinking, this is kind of a, just in the forward, it would be nice if maybe yearly or so we could look at our communication. I know we've talked about it, and when you guys chose me, we talked about ideas about citizen engagement. I think this is a prime opportunity to come up with something innovative somewhere. So just something I've been thinking about, but at some point I would love to, this would be a perfect thing for Matt, but you know, just something I've been thinking about that I wanted to throw out there so we can maybe kick around at later times. Please and thank you.
Yeah, Kevin, that would be fantastic. I would love to see what we could do that's innovative and to get the community more involved and really get them participating. I did feel a little blindsided by some of the questions that came out on social media, as many of you saw, in regard to the school district. And then I've had other people approach me about different things, and it would just be nice if they were where they were supposed to be and participating in the meeting. So fantastic idea, Kevin.
And with that, I'd like to take a moment to thank Jeanette Corbin for always tuning in and being an advocate for the city council, because she's on Facebook announcing when it is, where it is, and the information needed. So Jeanette, thank you for doing that.
Yeah, she's done a fantastic job. It's on there every time we have a council meeting. I can count on it being on there, and yeah, we thank her. Oh, I see Jeanette's on the call too. I did not realize that. Jeanette, if you'd like to say something, feel free. Okay, well, we do appreciate you getting that word out there. And Kevin, to the point that you're talking about, are you talking about maybe trying to have some sort of outreach meeting where council can talk to the public, that sort of thing, or were you thinking along some lines of something different?
Honestly, just what's popped around in my head was outreach. Well, several things. Outreach, like family night at the roller skating that the city helps sponsor, and they could come talk to us or whomever, or something like something on the website where these are the common questions. Here's the link for the meeting. Here's the middle school question, frequently asked question, that kind of stuff, where there's just other ways to access things that we can get out there, because the more information the better, the more engagement the better.
Yeah,
so
yeah, I agree. Most of the things that I see are on Brush Concerned Citizens, right? And the information isn't always accurate. I know I've seen some things on there that talk about. I think one of the things I saw that somebody had said, they asked the mayor what was going to happen with that property, and had no clue. And I tried to respond that the question would be better directed at this time to the school district. That doesn't mean that property won't morph into something different after it's gone, and perhaps the school district and the city can team up and help each other out and make good use of that property. But at this time, I couldn't comment any further than that. But I think you're right. I think we need a better way of getting information to people than to have it all on Brush Concerned Citizens. So, all right.
I know we're not doing it right now since we're online, but we still videotape when we're in person, correct?
Yes, I believe so. Loranda?
Yes, that is correct.
That is correct. Yeah. Except for the work session is not videoed and never has been. So
that should be something you think about. Video.
Jeanette's unmuted now. Sorry. She says you're welcome.
Okay. Oh, okay. I see that. Okay. Go ahead, Larry. Do you have another point?
Yeah, that's something we should look into. People watch videos online. That's the big thing now. Videos are huge. If someone was to take that meeting and cut it up into, like the star thing today, we discussed a little bit, that small video. People will watch a 5-minute video or a 3-minute video. Maybe if you do enough of that on there, it gets them interested in these meetings. You know what I mean? So something to think about.
Yeah,
Because
that's
Miranda doesn't have enough to do right now. I mean, she could use another job, right?
Also on YouTube, Larry, as you may know, that you can just put the like skip to links in there as well on the bottom. So you
But,
did it.
timeline.
Yeah.
But if people see, Kevin, how many times have you seen a video online that says it's an hour long and you're like, I don't have the time. But if it's 3 or 4 minutes, you'll watch it. You'll check it out. If it says something in Brush, Colorado, you'll watch it. You'll check it out. Right? You know what I mean? Maybe we just need to get people seeing what we do in little bits, kind of ease them in,
How about a topics recap once after the meeting? Just a quick hot topics recap that could be posted on social media. Doesn't necessarily have to be a video. It could be pictures, something quick, because people respond to pictures really quickly. And then there's a picture that could grab their eye and they're like, oh, I want to read that. But if it's just a hot topics recap, so like a hot topic so far from this meeting would be the STAR program or the COOP or co-op, or I don't even know how we're supposed to say that, I'm sorry. But those would be 2 hot topics that we could put out there. Just doing that recap and furthering that engagement, because I know several of us are active on social media. So once that goes up, then we can share it and it's really getting information out there.
How about do we have any staff input on that? Because from a staff perspective, we have to know who's got the time to do it too. So.
Yeah, this is Monty. We'll talk about it tomorrow morning at staff meeting, but one of the things that you can get pretty tied up in those if you have a lot of chatter going back and forth. But let us vet it a little bit at the staff level, and we'll also give a council a little bit of history of all the other things that we've tried in the past for community engagement, and start there with a little more discussion. We'll discuss it tomorrow morning at 9 a.m.
Hey, Monty, what do you mean by chatter back and forth? Are you meaning like something might be said that one of us don't see here?
Well, if you post something, someone's probably going to respond back, and if you get a response back, if no one responds back to that comment, then I'm not sure how good it does. But I am not a social media guy, so that's why if we want to do something very unique with social media, I think we have to have someone dedicated to it.
When we're in this day and age, social media is just the way to go, but Monty is correct. When someone comments, there needs to be a comment back. Someone needs to be responding. That's good customer service. And ultimately, we are giving customer service to our constituents and taking care of, our people here in the city of Brush. So that is a really great point.
Hey, Monty, also, I remember some talk, the Best and Brightest program. Is that coming back again? You said there's a possibility we might be getting somebody new.
Yeah, usually it starts in January, but due to the COVID, they're pushing it off till July. And so I've touched base with the state, just letting them know that we're interested in that again.
Okay. Anyone else have anything to report?
I just want to ask any date for in-person meetings yet?
Yeah, I was going to bring that up right as soon as I gave council a chance to report. But yeah, this was as good a time as any. Looking at the health department numbers, the numbers continue to be better. Morgan County was below 5% for the 14-day average, And I looked just before I got on this meeting, and I think the 7-day average is about 4.4%. The state was looking to try to stay below 5%. So it looks like we're at a point where we could consider going back to in-person meetings at the next meeting, but I wanted to throw that to council to get your feelings about that. We, as staff reported, we are opening the doors up February 1st. I believe that first meeting is, if anybody can get to their calendar faster than me, February 8th would be our next council meeting. How does council feel about going back to in-person meetings?
I'm in favor.
I'm all about it. It's a good idea.
Yep, let's do it.
See Danny, yes. Allison?
It'd be nice to see Justin's face again.
Oh, that's right. What do you think,
sorry.
Justin?
I'm not coming.
I'd like to see Allison. Allison speaks for herself. I just like to throw it out there.
Hey, Larry.
Dan, are you a yes on that?
Oh, yeah, I did say yes.
Okay. It sounds like.
Dan Cobb.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. I should have said that. It is looking like definitely clear decision to go back to in-person meetings. So we will go ahead and plan for in-person at our next meeting. Anyone else like to report anything on mayor and council reports? Okay, if not, I will go ahead and look. Well, we don't need a motion to adjourn. I did learn that. We'll go ahead and adjourn this meeting and immediately go into our work session. We have 2 items we'll be discussing.